Hey, this is Lewis from SoFly, and today I'm proud to show you the alpha version of Oxygen 2.1. So let's get started with the new features. The first new feature is global colors. That means that we can update the colors on our site everywhere from one place. So to get to the global colors, you go to Manage, Settings, Global Styles, Colors, and you can have different color sets. Each design set has its own color set. If you create your own, they go in global colors. And we have 4 colors that are used on this site here that we've set to be global colors. So let's go ahead and change the styles of, let's first do the green here. Change this to say like a purple. And now notice everywhere we've used that color. It's changed. And then let's do the blue here. It's used here. It's used here. It's used in this text. Let's change this. We can make it black. Okay, now we've got purple and black. And then we have our text colors here. We could change that. We have our light section background color. We could change that. And there we go. That's how the global colors feature of Oxygen works. So to actually create a global color when you're designing, so let's say you added in a section and then you added in a heading. And well, okay, first let's say you wanted it to use this text color, text A. You just click the color picker and your global colors show up right there. And you can choose any of the global colors. Or if you want to create a new global color, you can just choose the color and then click this global icon and enter a name. I'll call this something like alternate A, add, and there we go. And then if I want to reuse that elsewhere, I just choose it in the global color section of the color picker. Okay, cool. So that's global colors. So that should speed up your workflow a lot. The next thing that was added was HTML5 tag choices. It got requested a lot all of a sudden. Nobody mentioned it during the 2.0 alpha period. No idea why. Then as soon as we released, everybody wanted it. So for header builder now, it uses the header tag. So let's take a look at this on the front end, and I'm going to show you the HTML so you can see. So header is now using the header tag. Sections, you can actually choose your tag. So by default, it uses section, but you can choose div, footer, header, article, main. For text elements, you can choose things like P, fig caption, time, article, summary, details. So now you got what you need to use HTML5 tags and set them as you wish. The next new feature I want to show is gradient backgrounds. So to set a gradient background, go to the Advanced tab for any element, go to Background, then go to Gradient, and you can set a gradient background. So you just add a color. So we'll set the gradient to start at, say, like a blue like this, and then we'll add another color. Let's just copy this one, and then we'll darken it a bit, like that. I'll do it more just so you can see kind of a subtle effect. And you can use more than 2 colors too. So let's add another color. Let's go down to purple a little bit. And you can even control where the colors are. So say we could change this to percentage. This is going to go 10%. And then this is going to go down to 90%. And then this last one will finish at, say, 100%. Or we could move it, right? We could set this to 50%. Or you could even specify in pixels, right? This goes to 300 pixels, and then this starts at, say, 301 pixels, and you get an effect like that, or even 300. You can change the angle, something like that. You can add another color here. So as you can see, the effects you can get out of this is totally unlimited. You got radial, circular gradient, etc. Anyway, don't go too crazy with this, or you're just going to make your site look really ugly like I just did. But you get the idea. We've got super powerful gradient controls now. And these can be used as overlays as well. So let's say, here, let's clear out this gradient. And let's set a background image. Let's just find a random image off Unsplash. Let's go copy image address here. I'm just going to hot link it for this video. So let's say we want to do a gradient overlay on this image. So what we can actually do here is go gradient. Let's do a linear gradient here. No angle. Let's start with like red and then semi-transparent. And then we can add in blue. And now we've got a gradient overlay effect on the image. So that's pretty cool. Okay, the next thing I want to show is our new dynamic data integrations for toolset and advanced custom fields. This was some of the most requested stuff. I'm only going to show the advanced custom fields integration, but for toolset, it's literally exactly the same. So first, I've added a post type to this site using custom post types UI. Of course, you could use toolset. You could use any other plugin for making your custom post type. So I've added a post type called project. So this is to store my web design projects. So I've designed WPLimport.com and auctionbuilder.com. Let's say I was going to build a personal portfolio. Every site I designed, I add in a new project. Then in advanced custom fields, I created a field group for the project where I store the project title, a description, an image for the project, a gallery of screenshots of the project, a testimonial from the client of the project, photo of the client, link to the website, and we're using this field group on post types that are equal to projects. So if I go over to projects and I edit a project, say the WPL import project, you'll see all of the fields: project title, description, image, gallery, testimonial name, quote, photo, website. So we're now going to use all of these fields in Oxygen. So if you created fields with toolset, then they would show up here as well. They'd be available in Oxygen visually. So let's go over to the template. We have this project template I created in Oxygen. It applies to all of the projects. And then here that template is in Oxygen. So I designed the template. It's got my project title, project description, button to visit the website, gallery images, project, the client, and a testimonial from the client. So let's link all this to advanced custom fields data. Again, same for toolset. So double click, click insert data, and now we have the advanced custom field option. If you had toolset installed, this would just say toolset instead. So click advanced custom field, and then you simply choose your advanced custom field. And the various options for that field are available so you can figure how it works. Okay, we've chosen our field. Perfect. Now for the project description, insert data, advanced custom field description. For the website, we're actually going to use data here. So I'm going to go data, advanced custom field, website, and that's going to set this to the button to link to the website URL. For the gallery, we're just going to choose gallery source as ACF. Enter our ACF field name is gallery. And here is our advanced custom fields gallery field. Then for the testimonial, we'll go insert data, advanced custom field, testimonial name, insert, and then for the testimonial content, we'll do testimonial quote, insert, and then we should add an image in here. So let's go add in an image, and we'll go data, advanced custom field, primary image, testimonial photo, and we can choose a size or various options. I'll just use the default, so we'll insert that. And okay, that's a bug in the alpha. That image isn't working. That'll be fixed probably by the time we release the alpha, actually. So you won't have to worry about that. But okay, this is how it works. So let's save this and take a look on the front end. And here we go. Now it's filled with our data from advanced custom fields. Let's take a look and preview the other project, and you'll see that all this stuff updates with the data for the other project coming from advanced custom fields. Yeah, there we go. WPL import gallery, different testimonial, etc. Okay, cool. Let's now take a look at the new slider options. So it's now much easier to do full screen sliders. So, and infinite sliders. First, let's take a look at the infinite slider. So by default, previously in 2.0, you'd go 1, 2, and then you'd expect it to just keep going to the third slide, but it slides all the way back to the beginning. So we added an infinite option. Just go to Styles, Configuration, Infinite for the slider, and save. And it only works on the front end. That's just the way Unslider and Oxygen work together. But once that option is checked, you go to Infinite Slider, and now it just keeps going. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at the full screen slider. So previously in Oxygen, you had to add all this custom CSS to make your slider show up in full screen, but now it's easy to make the slider full screen, no padding around it, full width. So first thing we're going to do, we have a slider here with 3 slides. Each has a heading in it. Slide 3, slide 2, slide 1. We want to make this full width, full height. So first thing we're going to do is go to the section and go to Advanced, Size and Spacing. Section Container Width is going to be full width, and that's going to make this section be the full width of the page. Then we're going to go to the section Container Padding here and set 0 on all sides. And then to remove this padding around each slide, as you can see, we'll go to the slider, go to Styling, and choose Remove Padding Around Slides. Then we're going to make the slider full height. So we're going to go to Advanced, Size and Spacing, Height, 100 VH. That's going to make the slider the exact height of the browser. But we want the slides to actually stretch to be that height as well. So what we're going to do is go to the slider, go to Styling, choose All Slides Stretch to Same Height. So now they'll stretch to be as big as the slider itself. And then we'll choose Dots Overlay Slider to make the dots appear over the slider instead of below it. And now we have a full height slider. Now, let me show you the overlay header functionality. This is really cool. So on any page, we can go to Manage, Settings, Page Settings, and set the header, built with the header builder, to overlay, to float above the page. So we'll choose to overlay the header above 1120 pixels. And now this header is an overlay. The background color is removed. It's transparent, and it floats above the slider. So that is a really cool effect. Okay, let's save this, take a look on the front end. Beautiful. Look at that. Slider is the exact height of our screen. And then when you scroll, you got the rest of the page. So that's all visual in Oxygen now. No need to use any code. You can do that with just the clicks you saw me do in this video. Okay, next up, let's take a look at the specifics of the overlay header options, because we've also added some better sticky header options too. So here I have my template where I have my header builder. In my header builder, I've built 4 header rows. The row with the social icons and email addresses, the main menu that we're going to have on most pages of the site, the special row that I only want to show when the header is an overlay header, and this row, which I want to show only when the header is sticky. So we now have new options for each header row. We have sticky display. We can choose hide in sticky. That was available previously, but we can also choose only show in sticky, and that will make this row only appear when the header is sticky. So we choose that, and then when the header is sticky, that row appears. Otherwise, it won't appear. The other rows, we don't want to appear in the sticky. So we'll choose hide in sticky, hide in sticky, and hide in sticky. Now we have a sticky header that looks completely different than our main header. Next up, let's set up the overlay header. So we have a home page here, and from Manage, Settings, Page Settings, I've enabled the overlay header. That's making our header overlay the content on this page. And that's why we're using a background here. So we don't want all these rows to appear in the overlay header, actually. This row right here, we want it in the overlay, and we want it in normal mode. So we're going to leave this option alone. This row right here, we want it hidden in the overlay. So we'll choose hide and overlay. Now when it's an overlay header, this row won't appear. And then this row right here, we want it to only be shown in the overlay. So only when the header is an overlay will this row show. And it'll turn this into an overlay by removing the background color so it shows as transparent. So let's save this and then take a look at our home page on the front end. So first we're going to see the content page. So we have the header like this for the normal content page. We have the sticky header, totally custom. Custom sticky row only displays when it's sticky. And then for the home page, where we've enabled the overlay header option, we're showing our overlay rows and we're not showing the other rows. And then of course sticky works here too. So super flexible way to build headers. This is the most flexible header building solution out there right now, and totally easy to use, and you get really cool effects like this. Okay, also we added some options about menus. So let's take a look at those. Let's go back to edit the template that contains the header. Actually, before I show the menu options, I want to show the options for the sticky header. Now, we've improved it. So if you go to the sticky option here, enable sticky header, you can fade in the sticky header so you get a smoother animation when the header becomes sticky. So that looks much better. Also, the menu can always be a toggle now. So let's say you don't want this to toggle only on mobile. You can make it always be a toggle, even on desktop. And then you got additional options for icon styles, because on desktop, you might want to add in a hover color. So you can do that. What else do we add in here? Oh, you can do a custom container width for header rows or header builders. So now you can make them full width more easily. Just go to size and spacing, header row container width. You can go page width, full width, or enter in a custom width. What else do we add in? Oh, we added a transition duration for menu links. So let's say this wasn't actually a toggle here, and you want say we were going to change the link text color. So on hover, we set the hover text color to say something else like this. Let's make it really extreme actually so we can see the difference. Then you have a transition duration property for a smooth animation between the colors. So that looks nice. Okay, cool. Next thing I want to show is our new shortcode wrapper element. So this was requested by a few people who wanted to nest content designed in Oxygen inside a shortcode. So now you go to WordPress. In addition to shortcode, you have shortcode wrapper. You enter in your full shortcode here. So something like shortcode and then the closing tag. And then the content you put in this shortcode wrapper will be wrapped with that shortcode. So you get whatever styles you want or conditional display. I don't quite know what people are doing with this, but they want to wrap content in a shortcode. Now it can be done. And the shortcode wrapper behaves just like a div. You got all the same layout controls. Next thing, let's take a look at the new settings page. We've added a little bit. So you go Oxygen, Settings, and we've organized it better. Now there is a role manager. So you can stop, if you have clients that are going to break the website, you can stop them from accessing it. So by default, it just shows the user roles built into WordPress. Only the administrator has access. Of course, you can't disable access to the administrator, and then all of the roles have no access, but you can choose full access for any user role. So install any user role management plugin, give your client a custom role that gives them access to edit what they need, and then no access to Oxygen. And if a role has no access to Oxygen, Oxygen just won't show up in the admin panel. They won't see this. They won't see the Edit with Oxygen button. Next thing we have is a post type manager. This will stop Oxygen from showing up on certain post types. So for example, right now, if we go to blog posts, you'll see the Edit with Oxygen button. This is just kind of annoying because you're probably going to design these in the WordPress post content editor or in Gutenberg. So you probably want to just disable this. So you'll hide the Oxygen box on the post type by checking that, save changes, and now we come over here and Oxygen doesn't show up for posts anymore. Of course, your Oxygen created template would still apply here, but just edit with Oxygen is no longer there, so it doesn't clutter up your screen. We made the license screen hidden, so you type in your license key, you can see, but once you actually submit, yeah, so now your clients can't see it. But if your clients have admin access, you know they can actually figure this, they can figure out what this is, right? So don't be silly and think this is magic. Okay, we also added in some experimental options for security hardening. I'm not sure if these are going to actually ship in 2.1, but basically what this does is prevents Oxygen shortcodes from ever being executed if they weren't actually created in Oxygen or pasted into the Oxygen shortcodes box. So let's say some third-party plugin has a security hole that allows for execution of third-party shortcodes. Well, they won't be able to use Oxygens for any possible attacks. So to enable that, you choose check Oxygen shortcodes for valid signature before executing, and that will be enabled by default. We'll have more information about exactly how this works once we actually release 2.1, if we choose to include this. Right now, this is experimental. Okay, those are the main new things in Oxygen 2.1. Thank you very much for watching this video. There are also some additional bug fixes for bugs reported during 2.0. Various other options. We got an option to control the image file size for the gallery for faster load times. Other little stuff like that. So please remember, this is an alpha. This is not a beta. It is an alpha. It is buggy. So do not use this on live websites. If you want to test on a live website, copy it to staging. We really hope you will test on websites that you've already built with Oxygen. Just copy to staging first, because this thing, totally fresh, it could break your website. So don't use it on a live website. If you do, you're a dumbass. Don't do that. And we're not going to help you fix it if it breaks either. So don't. This is for testing purposes. Details, documentation, videos for the new features will all get published when we release the final version of 2.1. So please test this. Please report bugs. It was so great that we got 2.0 out so rock solid, and that was because of the great bug testing we had done by all of our users in the 2.0 alpha period. So we're going to do the same thing for 2.1. Thank you all so much for your help on testing. I really appreciate that. To report bugs, please report them on our forums. So go to the website, click community, click forums, and then go to the bug reports forum. This is the official place to report bugs. So during the alpha and beta period, we're going to be combing through the bug reports forum and addressing the bugs that are reported. Okay, this is Lewis from SoFly, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you like what you see in the 2.1 alpha.